Hello, welcome back to my channel and a very warm welcome to you if it's your very first visit to me here in my little corner of Cumbria here in the northwest of England, otherwise known as the Lake District. A really beautiful place to live, and I'm very grateful that I get to live here. So thank you so much for joining me here. It's wonderful to have your company today. I'm sitting in a corner of my lounge, which is where I try and do some videoing for you, and a bit of a chat of this and that and some creative living things. You know, what it is I'm personally doing to create myself some kind of a better life, a slower life, a more intentional life. So thank you so much if you've been hanging around for the last fortnight. I hope you've had a good 2 weeks. I've certainly had a good couple of weeks of doing all sorts of things that I can't even remember what they were now. I do think it's really important that all of us have time out, and this is kind of my job, and I like to just stop. The weather was fantastic, I have to say. It's kind of calmed down a bit now. It's gone more September-y now, but I did have a really good couple of weeks. I sat outside quite a lot and done outdoor things. Mostly I just rested, to be honest. I thought I had a list of things I really wanted to get done. Turns out I didn't really want to do any of them. I just really knocked off and rested and took walks and went out on my bicycle, and I also did some wild swimming. Now, if you've been here for a while, you know this has been one of my projects this year, has been learning to swim in what they call open water, so a lake or a river. I haven't as yet been in the sea again, although I did swim a lot in the sea when I was a youngster, because that's what we used to do. My mum used to take us all to the beach, all four of us, and which I think was a very brave effort on her part. So I've been swimming in a local lake, and my husband and I have been doing this over the summer, because we have had, as I say, the most phenomenal summer. For Cumbria to have constant hot weather has been incredible, and I know for some people in some places it's been rather too hot, and I know there's been a lot of issues with, you know, excess heat, but we've been very blessed. And we've been going to the lake a lot, and it's been lovely because we've been going like late afternoon when we finished doing what we're doing, finished our jobs for the day, and you find there's loads of other people there, not loads, but some other people going. So families have been going, so we've been perhaps arriving as the families have been leaving for the end of the day, and then other people are coming for the evening, and the lake has been this beautiful amenity, this beautiful community space where people have been out in nature, in amongst the trees, swimming in the water, paddling in the water. Some people have kayaks and paddle boards and things like that. Some people just swim up and down, which I think is incredible. So I've been learning step by step. What I'm doing with my life at the moment is I'm finding opportunities to create, as I say, better ways of doing things, better ways of living. It's like a light bulb has been turned on my head, and I'm going, well, what can I do? What can I do differently? How can I improve things? And most importantly, how do I stay strong and healthy going into the next chapter of my life? So while swimming has been part of this, and I started out earlier in the year, if you don't know this story, I bought myself a wetsuit because I thought that's what I needed to do. In order to facilitate my very first swim, I bought a wetsuit. Now, as it happened, the weather then suddenly turned warm and in fact hot, and I haven't really used it after the first time. My first attempt at swimming in the lake was mostly panicking because I haven't swum for a very long time, and my body had forgotten what to do. So what I'm doing is I'm retraining my body to this idea that we go into the water, I know exactly what to take, my swimming costume, my swim shoes, I have it all ready in a bag. My husband and I, we have it all ready in a bag, and we just pick up the bag and we go. We know exactly where we're going. We found different places around the lake to go. If somebody's in our little spot that we like, we just walk around to another little bit. It's never too busy, so it's been great. And I've been building up my swimming muscles, if you like, and mentally as well as physically that's been a thing. And I started out like I could do about 5 strokes or something, and then I'd turn around and go back and do another 5 strokes. I was always in my depth, it was all very safe, and now I can do 20 in either direction, and I've been building up my 20s, so I can now do, I reckon I've been swimming, the last time I went, I swam just over a length, what would be a length in a swimming pool, which doesn't sound very much, but for somebody who hadn't swum for many years, I had a sort of a chronic fatigue in my body for a lot of years when I couldn't do a lot of things. I had very low energy levels for many years. I don't even know now how long it was for, and I have had to rebuild the muscles in my body. I'm also rebuilding, as I say, my mental capacity to do these things. So I even went swimming on my own. I can't remember whether I said this last time, because it was a night when my husband didn't particularly want to go for a swim, and I thought, right, this is my chance to actually go on my own. I knew it was perfectly safe. I'm not going out of my depth or anything. There's other people around. I'm not on my own, and I do it very carefully. And I swam on my own in the lake, and I was so proud of myself. I really was. It was again like this light bulb going on in my head that said, I can do this. I know I can do this. So that's been a really fantastic achievement for this year. I don't know where it's going to play out over the winter. I like the idea that I can take my wetsuit and go swimming when it's cold, but we will just wait and see. I'm not pushing anything. My backstop is I will go and swim in the local pool because I really want to keep the muscles that I've built up. I've got muscles in my legs because I've been taking my bicycle out that I bought last year, and I've been building that up. I do everything really gradually, little steps. Every time I go out, I cycle a little bit further. It might be 100 yards, it might be 10 yards, you know, but I keep just expanding and expanding that distance. So that's been really exciting for me to feel my body. I now know I can cycle through the village in a much higher gear on my bike much faster than I could when I first set out last year with fear and trepidation, having not ridden a bike for years. So I'm building these things into my life. I've just joined a Keep Fit class. I've been twice. It's a step aerobics class, and I'm sure lots of you already do things like step aerobics, and it was a whole new thing to me. I've got these little baby weights, okay, so I've got these little 1 kilogram baby weights which you're supposed to use at the class, which I'm building up to using. I decided I didn't know the movements, I didn't know what my body was doing. A bit like the swimming and the cycling, I'm building it up really slowly. So I'm going to use these at home to start with and just do some of the basic exercises. I have got my lovely pink ones which I mentioned in my last video. I bought these, but these are a little bit big at the moment, so these will be waiting in the wings. But it's all these new exciting things. The Keep Fit class is lovely. It's local, it's in a village hall, it's very low key, but it's people that I know and people that I don't know. So it's like it's expanding my community as well. So I'm very excited about that. So there's been a lot of change. One of the things, as I say, the idea of the building strength thing is the big thing I've come across, which I did share in my last video, was about aging and keeping strong, and how that can really improve your health. I came across these videos, and stop me if you've heard this, but it was to do with weight training, literally barbell lifting weights, and people's health improving, osteoporosis. People with osteoporosis or osteopenia, which is the precursor to that, which as we move through life has become a risk in recent years. And you know, it's like there's a light bulb going on in my head and other people's heads that this doesn't have to be the case. I've literally been watching a video or two of 80-year-olds going to the gym, working out. I came across a 63-year-old lady whose mother is 92, and she goes to the gym 3 times a week in America, and the rest of the time she's out, you know, doing the garden and stuff like that, so really, really active. So I feel as though the biggest change that I'm coming across at the moment is this shift from thinking that ageing, as we call it, has to be this thing of deterioration. Now, I'm not saying that people don't have real big health issues, because there are lots of health issues out there, but for example, there was a lady who'd been in bed for a year because she'd had a heart problem, and she'd literally been in bed for 1 year and was struggling to get back to health. She'd done all sorts of different things, but the thing that turned her around was weight training, because it builds muscle and it tells the body, and it uses the whole body. It's using the body as a mechanical thing. So I'm sorry if this is very boring, I'm sorry, switch this bit off if you're not interested. I'm quite fascinated by it, and I'm not saying I'm going to go and do weight training, but it's in the back of my mind, because again, it's a bit like the wild swimming. It's a really daunting thing, terrifying thing to go to a gym, and also quite expensive, so I need to really think this thing through. So I'm going to see how it goes, but my intention at the moment is simply building up on what I've got going on and relishing it as long as I enjoy it. I'm not doing it because I want to be strong and fit. I'm doing it because I enjoy it and my body is asking for it. So lots of change, even since I spoke to you a few weeks ago. It's just really quite exciting. So I've been doing lots of artwork, I've been doing a lot of drawing, I've been doing a lot of painting. I am shifting in my artwork too. I think there's big changes happening. We've been doing some building work which is coming to an end, and I've got lots of exciting things with that. I've got new things to be doing. I've got curtains to make and blinds to make in my new space. So I've got lots of exciting projects, and I do think, don't you, that it's September, it's time for change. It's almost like the kids go back to school, don't they? And I still remember, don't you, your pencil case, getting your pencil case ready, and it feels like that in September somehow. There's a new energy comes in. So I am excited for what this is bringing in. Yes, it's getting autumnal, but I'm actually quite ready for that. I'm ready for the garden just to sort of calm down and quieten down. But I intend to keep active over the winter, whatever that might take. I'm going to have to get braver. I might have to go out when the weather is cold and do some of these things, but I am super excited about it. So if anybody's interested, the channel I came across for all this Keep Fit stuff was called, I think it's the Honest channel on YouTube. I'll leave a link below. If you're interested in Googling these strengthening things, there are things in America called starting strength gyms, and they seem to do a wonderful job, and I would love to see some of them over here. And I think it's basically taking your health and well-being into your hands as much as you can. And I appreciate for some people that's a really difficult thing. I'm lucky I had a relatively reasonable level of health. I just didn't have any energy. So that's come back, but I am very careful. I listen to my body. I do what my body wants to do. I eat what my body wants to eat. And I just want to relish life and be excited by it. So watch this space. I don't know what's going to be happening. So I want to say thank you though to you all. Thank you for subscribing to my Substack. That's really wonderful to have your support there, where I do a monthly newsletter type post thing where I talk about largely what we're doing here on our land, and there's more to be talked about because we're doing all sorts of projects this winter, this autumn with that, and also where I do my paid for videos, which are creative videos. They're drawing and mark making and printing and all sorts of arty things going on over there. If you're interested in that, that is a paid subscription because I need to earn some money. I've done YouTube here for 5 years for free. I am now actually monetizing that, which doesn't mean you pay, it just means I get advertising revenue, which is at the moment not a lot, but it's something. And again, that was a brave step for me to do. I had to work out how to do that. I've had to learn a lot of new things. So let's watch this space and see what happens. I hope that you're all being creative and loving your life, and if you're not, find some way to put a bit of love into it. It's lovely to have your company here. I'm sorry if the videos at the moment are a little bit odd. My main beautiful big SLR camera is out of action. I'm taking it to the camera shop this week to get it fixed up, hopefully. It'll have to be sent away, so I'm using my little one. So if it's a bit funny, that's why, and I apologise for that. I want to see what's going to happen here. How are we going to create this living, joyful living? And I think that's what it's all about. So thanks again for being here. I will see you again very soon. Bye for now.